excellence in school and community. Any student involved in a football program may apply for the scholarship. The application and qualifications can be found on our website at MHSFCA.com. In addition, our association annually awards the Terry Rose Memorial Scholarship. This scholarship was first presented in 1991 in memory of Coach Rose. Terry Rose was the president of our association in 1986, while an assistant coach at Stevensville Lakeshore. He was also inducted into the Hall of Fame this same year. Coach Rose was instrumental in establishing a permanent site for our coaches clinic, which at that time was Battle Creek. Prior to that, it was at various high schools around the state. A quote from a fellow coach about Coach Rose, he said, "Coach Rose was a teacher of the game of football and a father figure to many of his players and students," as I'm sure all these guys are up here. "He was an excellent leader and coach. He prepared you for life." The recipient of this scholarship, this Terry Rose Memorial Scholarship, must be a child of a football coach who is a member of our association and who will attend or is attending college. It is a random draw scholarship. So at this time I'd like to have Chuck Ritter draw out of the Michigan helmet, which I was going to have signed by Coach Harbaugh. I hope he shows up. And let's see who our winner is. Oh, wow. You have to understand, I've got triplets, and they're all in college right now. And I put their name in every year. And Aisha has won it 2 years, Keith Stevens' daughter. And, you know, really, it's not rigged, right? But my son, Brian Luca, was going to Elm College, won it this year. If you want to check the rest of the names, you're welcome to. But honestly, they're all welcome. But before I turn this over again, I just got to share a real quick thing. 3 years ago, when they started college, there was 6 names in there. 3 of them were my kids. Aisha won that one too. So, anyway, thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor and it is my privilege to introduce to you the new inductees of the Hall of Fame, the class of 2015. Coach Chuck Baughman. Coach Baughman began his coaching career in 1978 at Dearborn High School, where he coached for 19 of his 20 years. The lone year away was at Detroit Catholic Central. His teams made the playoffs in 1990, 94, and 95. His 1995 team was undefeated in their first 10 games, winning the pre-regional game and setting a state record at that time by outscoring their opponents 317-0. Coach Baughman has received regional and state Coach of the Year honors. What coaching has meant to Coach Baughman. Coaching football has afforded me the opportunity to teach and to learn life lessons. I truly became a product of the outstanding coaches, players, and parents that made up our program over the years. Coach Baughman's biggest thrill in coaching, when Dearborn High School made the playoffs for the first time in 1990 and beating the #1 Class A team in the state, Temperance Bedford, in the first round. Ladies and gentlemen, the newest member of the Hall of Fame, Coach Chuck Baughman.
Thank you very much. Quite an honor. You know, I started to, I was told a month ago, maybe 3 months ago, put a speech together and practice it over and over and over and keep it under 40 seconds or something they were giving me. But so I started to think, what am I going to talk about? And I thought, you know, words of wisdom. right? If I'm supposed to be this, this coach that knows it all, and then I started seeing the people that I was being put in the hall with, and realized that I never beat any of these people, but some of them beat me. I think I put Bob Zarnicki in the hall myself, but I didn't beat their one. So then I tried to say, how am I going to keep it to 40 seconds? But I have quite a few teachers here with me. I'm the principal of a high school, and they said, just remember that we fall asleep really fast in your staff meetings, so talk quick and end this. So anyway, I'm going to approach it a little different. I just want to recognize the people that are here with me to help celebrate this evening in this great honor. So bear with me if I'm reading some names off. I just want to make sure I don't miss anyone. My family: Nancy, my wife, my son Eric, who came in from Los Angeles this morning to be here. My daughter Ashley and her friend Eric, they're up here at the front table. My brother and sister-in-law, Kathy and Al. My father-in-law and his friend Dolores. And Dad, if they had a hall for parents, you'd be in that one too. My sister Sharon came in from Florida. I was patting her on the back, so nice as Sharon has dated me. She said, heck, I just wanted to get my picture taken with Jim Harbaugh. She's a former U of M grad. Way in the back here, I see Rob and Maggie. Although they're not family, they feel like my brother and sister, so thank you for coming in from Traverse City. Also here, we have Osama Beydoun and his wife Haifa, Jeff and Amber Conway, Kevin Barkoff, John and Kelly Salone, John Powell and his wife. John's our current football coach at Dearborn High. Corey and Lori Rodriguez. He was a past Booster Club president of ours, and they had two great sons come through our program. Jackie Revay and Faye Berry. John Krieger, who's been a long-time family friend. He kind of thinks that I really like him, but really he provided me two All-State quarterbacks, so I had to pretend to be his friends. Also, Rami Abusala was a surprise show tonight. Thank you. I have a couple former coaches in the back. Rick Austin was the defensive coordinator for that 95 team that didn't let anyone score. People want to know how we did that. I said, just get great players around you and let someone else call the defense. So thank you, Rick, for that year. And also Coach Dan Willenborg, who's the current principal at Livonia Franklin. He used to be a captain in the Marine Corps, and he brought to us that attitude of push them, pass their limits, see how you can, how much you get out of them. This guy once ran a marathon just because a cross-country guy challenged him that football wasn't the man's game, it was cross-country. So within a few months of practice, he went out and ran a marathon. I have three former players in the back that tonight's complete because they're here. I've always stressed three things: effort, communication, and hit better than anyone else. And these three guys were all on the same team. They were all captains. They were all state players, played in college. Brody Killian was Mr. Effort. He ended up playing on U of M's national championship team. Kevin Krieger was the guy that communicated with me like no one else. Probably my best assistant coach ever, and he was on the field as a player. He was a great offensive player as a quarterback, but he still holds some records on defense, having more than 20 interceptions in a school history, or in a school career. And Mikey Holloway to me is Mr. Football. Whenever I watch a game on TV or go to a college game or whatever, I just see Mikey Holloway on the field, just the greatest hitter that I've ever seen in high school football in the over 40 years that I've been doing this. He played offense and defense, but Mikey, raise your hand back there. Where are you? All right, he's my guy. All right, also my wife up here up front, she challenged me a few years ago. I was coaching football at Detroit Catholic Central. It was a JV team at the time. We were 8-1, or on the year. We had lost one game. It was a close one, maybe 7-6 in a downpour. And she came up to me after, kind of gave me a look like disappointment, and said, and this is when I was like 21 years old. We just were married. And she said, "I thought you were different than all the other ones." I thought, what are you talking? She goes, you lost a game. I never thought you would. I said, well, that was great. Talk about high expectations. You know, there it goes. But hey, that gave me the motivation for the rest of my career to raise my game a bit. And I appreciate your motivation over the time. And my son and daughter, Eric and Ashley, they grew up around the program. And football at Dearborn High, or my career, was kind of more a way of life for my family, not so much a job. And I thank you for allowing me to do all this, the support and the involvement over the years. I'd like to give one more thank you, one last thank you to the Football Coaches Association for giving me this honor by selecting me into the Hall of Fame, also for what you do for our athletes and for the game of football. I'm a firm believer that you are a product of the people around you. This honor and recognition is for all of you who are here with me tonight, and for all the players, families, and coaches that have made up our football family over the years. Thank you, and I hope you continue to enjoy your evening.